Here with Street Sarrett, coach of the Woodrow Wilson Flying Eagle Street. It's Princeton week. It's a team you know well. I mean, I know they got a big win last year. A lot of talk I heard on the way back from my game last week was that Woodrow had this game circled. I mean, it's just a game.
It's local schools, rival games. Princeton, Greenbrier East, Oak Hill, Bluefield. They're all rival games when it comes down to that. And we went down there last year and they took it to us, and we come home with our tails tucked between our legs, and so hopefully we get a different result this year.
What do you make of the court? I mean, obviously Cochran was good. It seemed like he was down there for a long time. Well, they've got a guy now that's on pace to do break records that he had. What do you make of their quarterback?
Hey, he's tough, man. Tough. Just cool. And just for a sophomore, stays in the pocket. Got a lot of weapons around him to get the ball to. Low at the running back position, and Dom Collins, who, we've seen a lot of good receivers, and he's right there top in the state. I'll put him there with Harris from Huntington, and
who you played last week.
Yep, who we played last week. So, pretty tough individuals. Up front, they're very aggressive, and they're going to come after us.
Obviously, they got athletes, but you got athletes too. Is this a game that could come down to what happens in the trenches? Do you want it to come down to what happens in the trenches?
It could come down, and our line is, we're replacing a lot of guys off that line last year, and they're replacing some guys off theirs, and it just depends on what's clicking for us. And if it comes down to it, I'd like to see our line really step up. They've really growing as the season goes on, and things are happening with them. We've had some downtime, and we've made some moves around in there, but these kids, they show up every day, and they're tough, and they understand when we come to running the ball, what it takes.
Is there an advantage having a stable of running backs like you do can give you in a game like this, a rivalry game where there's going to be a lot of emotion in the air, and you've got maybe 10 guys you can go to.
We've got some guys that can run the ball in our offense and things we do, and that's what I like about it is, they can block, they can run, they carry the ball for each other. And in games like this, if you got one star running back and he gets hurt, man, you're kind of looking into a backup that hadn't had all the reps. We got guys that have had multiple carries throughout the season, and, if one guy would happen to get hot, last year Matt Moore, he'd get hot in some games, and we'd feed that ball to him. And if it happens on Friday night that somebody gets hot, they might be getting the ball fed to them.
Let's talk about your own quarterback, Devin Richardson. He's a guy that's made a lot of strides since I think week one. I think he had a comfort level there with Redfern and Elijah Waller early in the year, but he's starting to spread the ball around. Talk about his development.
I'm going to tell you what, Devin Richardson, like I said, first varsity game, he's got 7 under his belt, and he's just gotten better and better and better each week with it. And I think he's going to be a pretty good quarterback here, just a junior. And when he really develops and starts reading defenses better, and got a great ball, strong arm, and I really like the route he's going.
How neat of a moment was for you? I haven't talked to you since the Bluefield game. How neat of a moment was it when Redfern came back and caught a touchdown pass his first game? Everybody knows he collapsed at the Bluefield game, was in the hospital for a few days, misses the game, comes back, catches a touchdown pass on his first.
Elijah Redfern's a competitor, man. You're not going to keep him off the football field, and if his health is not keeping him off the football field, he's going to be here. He was back that week, I think on a Tuesday or Wednesday after he collapsed, and he's part of the team. It was big, man, and he's a competitor. I think his biggest flaw is he's so hard on himself, and he dwells on mistakes. And if he would just let those mistakes go and move on to the next thing, man, the sky's the limit for Elijah Redfern.
With Princeton's defense, what do you need to see from your offense?
I need to see our guys run our routes, catch the ball. We can't have drop balls, and we need to establish the line of scrimmage. We need to be able to move the ball and establish our run, and that'll open up things for us.
On the other side, everybody knows Dom Collins. He's a named receiver in the state of West Virginia, but is it as simple as just slowing him down? How do you go about
Man, everybody talks about Dom Collins is going to get his. He's going to get his no matter what. I mean, you just got to try to slow him down. I'm going to tell you, their running back low is tough as nails. I mean, people leave that name out a lot. You watch him run that ball. He runs it hard, and they got some big guys up front. Eli Campbell. You know, he's going to Air Force. There's a D1 lineman, and they play. So we're going to have to try to slow those two guys down.
In the scheme of what you guys want to do, how important is this game for Woodrow Wilson?
It's an important game. It's an important game for what we want to do in the playoffs and the things we want to do down the road. It's important to our town. It's important to our homecoming game. And a lot of people are going to be here. They don't want to come out and see their home team lose their homecoming game.
Well, that's a good point. That's one of the things we haven't lost in football along the way, homecoming.
Yep, that's right.
All right, hey, Street, I appreciate the time. Good luck to you guys on Friday night.
Hey, thank you, Dave. Appreciate you.